Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to today's session of On Air with Boss. Our guest for today is Davar Butt. Davar is a public policy analyst specializing in environmental policy, climate governance, and sustainability management. He currently serves as government advisor in the UAE, contributing to initiatives that strengthen air quality management and environmental resilience. Davar has led and advised two major initiatives, the Pakistan Air Quality Initiative and Climate Finance Pakistan. Davar has also provided consultancy and advisory support to projects with the World Bank, FCDO, and the United Nations, aligning his efforts towards strengthening environmental governance and sustainable policy development in Pakistan and beyond. Davar, can you please walk us through your journey at Beacon House?
Before Beacon House, I was in an all-boys military school, and one of my very close friends shifted schools to Beacon House Defence Campus. So that's how, I also became a little encouraged and then got my parents to move me as well.
So how was the adjustment phase for you?
Adjusting required both doing well in terms of grades, but also getting to enjoy the school life, which was a very hard balance. I have nieces and nephews that are already on ChatGPT and iPads at 5-6 years of age. So it was very different back then. You needed to memorize a lot of stuff. You needed to have certain critical abilities. So this is important to recognize that schooling was offering all of that. And then picking between schools was the deciding factor of how well you managed to develop these qualities.
You just mentioned your nephews and nieces, like using ChatGPT. How do you think AI has impacted the quality of education?
I certainly see that it's creating a little bit of laziness.
Okay.
And not just in terms of the content that students submit, but it's very easy to pick the type of language, the type of citations and referencing they do. And I see this in work as well. AI will be useful, but you have to, number one, try not to give too much personal information, make sure you're using it for certain academic purposes, and then picking up content, not publishing a whole essay through it. And I feel that for certain subjects like mathematics and science, the testing would have to be changed. Because if it's, you're getting the answer right away, you have to get it more practical testing for them.
Davar, how is AI integrated into your line of work?
I use it to understand other countries' policies. To start off, I would always put it in an AI that what is a particular country doing to resolve this environmental issue. And that is my starting point, and then I go into deeper research.
So Davar, I have personally experienced that at times, when we try to generate information through ChatGPT, most of the times it ends up giving us fabricated results, and we have to keep on questioning it whether the results are authentic or not, and then we ask for references. Do you experience such a thing in your line of work as well?
I don't think हमें इतना serious issue आता है ये, but I very frequently notice this on Grok, which is on X, Twitter.
Okay.
उसका अपना जो AI है, a lot of people comment for Grok to verify information. It very easily picks up the wrong websites for references.
Okay.
There have been certain websites created just to spread misinformation. If you are not a subject specialist, don't believe AI completely. Make sure that you go to the links or references, what can websites say, and make sure they're believable websites.
So there's this ongoing debate whether AI is there to replace the humans or whether, humans can coexist in their work practices with AI. What's your take on that?
3-4 साल पहले जब ये AI models आए थे, everyone was like, ये job खत्म हो जाएगी, ये job खत्म हो जाएगी. And increasingly, because of issues in AI, we found that नहीं होगी जल्दी खत्म. And a lot of people assume that jobs that are like fine arts and communications, these would be hit the least because it requires more intellectual ability to create content. But now we see that they have been hit the first.
Yes.
ग्राफिक्स और ये सब कुछ ऑटोमेटिकली जनरेट हो रहा है. जो लोग समझते हैं कि मैथमेटिक्स टीचर्स की जॉब खत्म हो जाएगी, साइंस टीचर्स की जॉब खत्म हो जाएगी, अकाउंटेंट्स की जॉब खत्म हो जाएगी, वो नहीं हो रहा. बिकॉज a lot of these professions are technical but also confidential के certain चीज़ के थ्रू पढ़ाना होता है. And AI is unable to replicate that yet. Future में maybe 15 years from now it will be a bigger impact. but people will adjust by then.
So अगर आप upcoming generations को देखो उनके लिए मुझे लगता है थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा to differentiate whether AI is having a positive impact on their lives or a negative per se. So if you were supposed to think about this from their perspective, so what are the do's and don'ts that you would suggest?
The way a lot of these softwares and even social media has been designed is to hook you in. And when you are, तब आप उसकी बात को ज़रा believe करते हो rather than people around you. So make sure that you are, have this rule for yourself कि यार 1-2 घंटे से ज़्यादा मैं ना use करूँ. Have some human interaction outside of it, especially human interaction, not just यारों दोस्तों के साथ जाके खाना पीना कर लिया. Human interaction कि आप उनसे आधा घंटा 20 मिनट किसी important topic पे छोटी सी discussion कर लो. 30 मिनट 40 मिनट की बात गपशप से you can obviously disconnect from your digital tools.
दावर आप मुझे बताओ कि what is the role of networking in today's world?
Networking becomes very important once you have funneled your thoughts and skills into one stream. And फिर आप उस पर चलना चाहते हो.
What does mentorship mean to you?
Mentorship can be in multiple, I think, understood in multiple formats. Number one is basically जो हम होता है कि एक subject में you find an expert and work with them. But in other cases, it can also be simply helping you out in your schools and giving basic guidance. जो कि I do see, at least in my schooling, I saw a lot of seniors helping out with that. Simply, SAT की prep कैसे करनी है, कि आप लोगों ने कैसे SAT दिया था. इसी तरह in your employment, you will find 1 or 2 seniors which are able to help you out, guide you, and in that sense, it's not like all of this is not formal mentorship, but in one way or the other, they are mentoring you towards your goal.
True. So Davar, what's one non-academic learning that you would associate with BDC?
Taha Shakur was the head boy, Beacon House 2011 batch as well.
Okay.
And he asked me to do this internship for School of Tomorrow. वहाँ पे then it's very interesting for a student to be in a corporate environment and also corporate environment of a school, because वहाँ पे decision making हो रही है of how the broader schools are run. School of Tomorrow के लिए foreign dignitaries and delegates आते हैं. For the conference pre-dinner, they also asked us to come to the Kasuri residence and also help out with the arrangements. This person is from this country. How can we give a message of welcome to this person in their language or something like that? And so this was very interesting because this is not school learning. This is learning on how to handle guests from a foreign country and making them sure they're welcome in Pakistan, and then using certain softwares. जो कि हमें even if you take computer science, वहाँ पे no one is explaining you how Excel or Microsoft Word works in certain ways.
So if you were supposed to classify your school experience in 3 words or phrases, what would you choose and why?
I was able to, number one, explore different subjects, which is very important to really pinpoint कि आपने जाना किधर है ज़िंदगी में. दूसरा, I think schools create curiosity. Lastly would be schooling is a challenge because each school or each class you get exposed to a broader environment. You have to take on that challenge and see कि आप किस तरह दुनिया के अंदर कैसे as a citizen रहोगे.
Davar, is there any one fondest memory that you would like to tell us about?
1.5 घंटे की क्लास होती थी and फिर अगेन घंटे की ब्रेक होती थी and for 1 hour completely straight हम वो कैंटीन की स्टेयर्स के बाहर बस बैठे होते थे. Someone was discussing cricket कि क्या हुआ कल के मैच में. कुछ लोग सामने उठ के फुटबॉल खेलते थे फिर आके बैठ जाते थे. Some of them would be discussing TV shows. उसमें ही आपकी सारी socializing हो रही होती थी उन few hours में. If we were not sitting there, तो we used to walk out and go to the nearby Khoka. I would be the only one who would go to the Khoka, buy an apple and eat an apple.
Okay.
And everyone would be joking कि क्या कर रहे हो यार? यहाँ आते हो तो कोई पेप्सी पी लो, स्टिंग पी लो, सेब खाना है. Now I meet every one of them. And all of them have become very health conscious. And I was like, yeah, I started this much early and it's benefiting me much more now.
Are you in touch with any of your friends from school time?
One of the closest friends, he's moved to the US, is teaching there now, finished his PhD and teaching there.
Okay.
But in touch with him. Then another one is working in Islamabad. Whenever I go to Islamabad, I stay at his place. So a lot of them, I think 4 of them have ended up in the civil service in administrative or police services. In my university in Lums, there were a lot of other beacon houses from Karachi, Islamabad, Faisalabad, coming in together. So उनके साथ फिर काफ़ी I got close. That's how, you know, my friend Palwa Shah that you also interviewed, that's how we met in LUMS as well, and then a lot of other friends as well.
Would you like to give a shout out to some of your friends?
Sameed, Shoaib, Asad, these are people, you know, made a good reputation for the school and themselves as well. And now they are contributing, mashallah, quite nicely to society. Palwa Shah, for example, is one of the, I would say, in the banking sector, she's definitely one of the leading women right now.
So Davar, what led you to decide the choice of profession that you've made for yourself?
During my schooling, particularly in Beacon House and then later in LUMS as well, I was always doing some extracurricular activity on the side which kept me exposed to these issues. So I remember that when I was in BDC, I was a part of the MUN society.
Okay.
I had a friend, he joined this thing called Lahore Environmental Youth Council, LEYC, and this was set up by an organization called Pakistan Sustainability Network. I think summer of 2011, I ended up in that little society, and वहाँ पे हमने थोड़ा सा काम शुरू किया. And obviously when I went to university in LUMS, वहाँ पे again I was part of the Lumen Society, but I led their social responsibility program.
Okay.
Which exposed me a lot to low-income neighborhood schools क्योंकि हम लोग खास तौर पे वहाँ पे target करते थे. We had a partnership with CARE Foundation and then we had a partnership with Hope Uplift Foundation. So हम वहाँ जाते थे and number one issues वहाँ पे यही थे कि schools के अंदर साफ पानी नहीं होता था. Schools के proper grounds नहीं थे. Obviously बच्चे भागते थे, dust आती थी, उससे वो बीमार हो रहे थे. This is, you know, an environmental issue, but it's impacting the students' ability to have a school life. And similarly, right after my graduation, I joined the Punjab P&D department in their health section. So we worked in the member health team. And because I was the youngest in the team, the first assignment was go to South Punjab. And there was a program being launched. Uski sari wo karni thi road show ke go and do the trainings for the district staff. And everyone, literally everyone complained ganda pani. So I got more interested in the relationship between environment and health and बाकी लोगों पे impact, human impact क्या आ रहा है. And the more you learn about it, आपका literally life expectancy से लेके your ability to perform in sports, in education, the grades you get, हर चीज़ का link है इसके साथ.
Unfortunately, there is still a lack of awareness as far as, you know, like the ground realities of where we are at the moment. So do you think some kind of awareness needs to be generated both on a public and a private platform for that?
Rural areas जहाँ repeated floods आते हैं, they're aware of it. वो यही कहते हैं कि तो हर 4-5 साल बाद आते हैं हमें. So हम prepared हैं, हम अपनी जगह नहीं छोड़ेंगे. इसी तरह cities में जहाँ pollution है, people like हम mask पहन लेते हैं और क्या करें. So awareness उन्हें है, लेकिन इन चीज़ों की जो solution होती है, वो usually government की तरफ से आती है. So can you know, clean fossil fuel sources? Can you have more public transport? जहाँ floods आते हैं, can you make sure that वो flood plain river की path clear है ताकि लोगों की आबादी की तरफ पानी ना जाए. So हम उन deeper चीज़ों में नहीं, हम अभी तक वहाँ पे ही हैं कि हम दरख्त लगाएंगे and दरख्त has been promoted as a one-stop solution.
Davar, what message do you have for the current students of Beacon House?
Always in your schooling life, try to maintain a balance, and balance not just, you know, between fun and studies, but in studies, try to pick subjects that are more closer to you, and also something that is completely out of the blue. Because आपके पास एक चीज़ हमेशा ऐसी होनी चाहिए that keeps a separate path open.
Mashallah, you're doing tremendous work, and I hope and pray कि आप जो भी काम कर रहे हो, may Allah give you a lot of success in that. And I hope that, you know, you can continue to do the good work that you're doing for the entire humanity. Thank you once again for taking out time and coming to today's session of On Air with Boss.
Thank you for having me.
Beacon House Old Student Society, BOSS, building a community together.